Okay. I wanted to do a little video on safety. There's a lot of facets to that up here, and I want to go through a few of them. Somebody mentioned the other day about having given too much information about the Ridge Runner. I will say that I didn't say where she was or where she was going, nor did I say what day it was. In addition, when I took pictures of her, I asked her if it was okay if I posted those, and she said it was. Now, that having been said, it's common practice not to tell people where you're going. It's okay to tell them where you've been. I won't tell anybody where I'm staying tonight. I won't post anything live, so if you see it, it was taken at another time, and I just don't want people to know where I am for my safety. There's in personal safety, you just always have to be aware. When I've stayed at one hostel, most people are pretty nice, pretty good, pretty helping. You know, if you're low on water, they'll give you water. If you need some food, they'll give you food. If you've run low, and I've only run low of water once, and that was nice. In the shelters, you just kind of the same way. Keep everything together as much as you can in your backpack. I don't talk a whole lot about where I'm going, but I do about where I've been. So, we talk more about the trail and equipment more than anything. Another thing is water. While I would guess that at least where I've gotten water, I would guess that 90% of them have been pure spring water with no protozoans, no parasites, no bad bacteria. But you can't count on that. So I've got a filter. Actually, it's my second filter I've tried, and it is not very good, but I do know that the water that comes through it is clean. It's just a little slow. But you want to make sure your water is filtered or boiled or chemically treated. If you don't, you're going to have a few days of explosions unannounced, if you will. Not a happy day. The trail itself and safety on the trail, you have to be vigilant of where you step, especially coming downhill. Going downhill is tough. I sent back my poles as a part of my weight reduction out of the pack, and so far have not been disappointed that I've done that, but I do think I may get my poles back at Fontana Dam and have them in the Smokies, according to my coach, Mr. Wallace. Also, one other thing is when you set up camp, you got to look around, make sure it's a nice level spot. Ideally, you've got some water close by. I say close, within a quarter of a mile. They don't want us to use the latrine, if you will, within 200 feet of a creek or spring. Generally, you're much further than that. One of the very important things, and particularly after Hurricane Helene and all the storms that we've had, and let me tell you, there's a lot of breakdown of trees and branches and stuff here. When you set up your tent, you want to look up and make sure there's not what is called a widowmaker, a limb that in a high wind might fall, or one that's cracked, or that sort of thing. So you want to be careful with that. I think that's it for safety. If there's any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try and get to them. I do want to go over at some point the equipment that I'm using. It's funny about equipment. Everybody thinks you should be using what they're using. Not necessarily the case. But I'll go over what I've got. If you've got questions or remarks, comments, please. There's no bad comment. I think that's it on safety, but just want to have a good, safe, fun, enjoyable time out here. The difficulties are twofold, primarily, as you can imagine. One is physically. It's physically strenuous. And then after a day and you're tuckered out, you've got generally getting set up and cooked dinner and everything, another hour or so. And the other is the mental issue. There's lots of bad thoughts going through the head. How much nicer it is to be at home and drinking hot coffee in the morning. Good coffee, not this nasty stuff I've got. Sleeping on a warm bed, not getting wet, not being cold, all of that. But the mental issues of dealing with those things is probably, I'll tell you what, I think maybe more tougher than the physical toughness. So anyways, that's it on safety. I was just thinking about it a little bit ago, and I ran into a couple of hikers and they asked where I was going, and I didn't tell them. Told them I didn't know. I do know, probably. So anyways, y'all have a great day. Have a cup of coffee for me, and be sure to get out there and just walk a little bit, move, get your blood rate up. Your body needs it. Your body wants it. Go do it. So, see you later. Headed north.